St Clair Shores, what's happening? Werenka here from Simply Home. I'm back with your March 2026 real estate market update for the city of St Clair Shores. Let's get into it. So, been a tumultuous month in the shores. Let's dig right into these numbers. Right now, as we speak, in the middle of March, there are 119 active listings on the market in St. Clair Shores, compared to only 52 that sold in the month of February. And the average sale price for February in St. Clair Shores was $244,103. It's actually down 13.9% from the month of January, and it's down 7.6% from February of 2025. Currently in St. Clair Shores, homes are selling for 98.7% of asking price, and they're selling at an average of 41 days on the market. And currently in St. Clair Shores, there is 1.6 months worth of inventory on the market. So our average sale price dipped down quite a bit from January. So let's dig into these numbers because we've got all kinds of different forces that are pushing the market all over the place. So it's still a little bit topsy-turvy, up in the air, kind of hard to decipher what's going on. But we're starting to come a little bit more into focus for what the market probably is going to look like for the rest of the spring and summer, at least. And I think a big part of the reason why we had such a big drop in the average sale price, a lot of it had to do with time of year. February traditionally is the slowest month of the year for real estate sales in Michigan. This year was no exception at all. In fact, it was probably slower than typical, and a lot of that had to do with the weather. But in an average February, you're going to see the highest days on market. You're going to see the lowest average sale price. You're going to see the lowest number of closed sales, just because, who wants to go out and look at houses, when it's pitch black at 5 o'clock and it's 7 degrees and you have to walk through 2 feet of snow to get to a front door. It's the people that absolutely have to buy a house are the ones that buy a house this time of year. And the market is already starting to turn a corner. Just in the last 2 weeks, we've seen two straight weeks of week over week gains in the number of inventory on the market, as well as a number of pending and closed sales. So I think we've gotten through it. We had such a cold winter with so much snow. I wasn't quite sure how much that had to do with the slower pace of the market, back a month ago, but it's looking like that definitely has something to do with it, because now we're seeing that rebound now that the weather's starting to warm up and it's, days are longer. It's just a little bit more of a pleasant time of year to go out and look at houses. And then when you combine that with the fact that we've got the lowest mortgage rates that we've had in 4 years, they finally just got into the high fives, and now they jumped back up a little bit. So they're in the very low sixes right now, but that all depends on a lot of factors: credit, income, things like that. Most of my buyers are locking in rates still in the fives, even though the average is a little bit higher than that. So normally what you'd see when rates go down is the average price goes up, because it's cheaper to finance a home, and the lower the rate is, so that brings prices up. But what we're also seeing is more inventory hitting the market, which has the effect of driving prices down. So we're kind of sandwiched in between there. We're gonna wait to see what wins out. But if I had to guess, I think we're gonna probably see more inventory than we've had at any time since 2019. At least that's the way we've been tracking since since about 2023. Every year we've seen more and more inventory hitting the market. So that's really what that's doing is stabilizing the market. We're not seeing these crazy high year over year appreciation rates anymore. So it's a little bit more sustainable, like what we typically see in a normal year. We're kind of getting back to that. But where we're still low is just the number of houses that are selling. All these numbers that we're looking in the past, and what I'm seeing in the future is just more inventory hitting the market now. So I think it's going to be more affordable. I don't know if it'll be affordable enough for some people, but housing affordability is definitely kind of turning the corner. More inventory means more choices for the average buyer. It also means that they're not sitting there competing with 10 other people for the one house that hit the market today. And all in all, it just makes home ownership more affordable. Not to mention that there's still just a ton of first-time buyer incentive programs out there. So I think all those things are going to combine. We're going to see a slightly busier, more productive year than we saw in 2025. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the average sale price either stay stagnant where it is, maybe even drop down a little bit, that remains to be seen. But that's kind of where we're at right now. The market is behaving the way it should behave for this time of year, the middle of March. That being said, there's a whole lot of external factors that we don't normally deal with. I have no idea what's going to happen with inflation, with gas prices, things like that. So that all remains to be seen. That'll have an impact on everything, including the housing market, if it, goes one way or another. So as of right now, that's where we are. It's, just like any other, mid-March where things are starting to pick up a little bit in the market. And I think this year that's going to mean good things for buyers. But as always, if there's something that I didn't get to about a city that I didn't mention, anything like that, just any questions at all, can always reach out directly and call or text anytime. Number is 586-491-5622. Can always email me at DerekWerenka@simplyhome.com. I'm on all the socials. Just DM me. I'll respond quick. And until next month, thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. Anything I can do for you, that's what I'm here for. So until next month, have a great one. Have a safe month. And we'll talk soon, guys. Have a great one.